Hello everyone and welcome to the weekend update. Of course, this is also the first video of the new year. 2020, just a phenomenal year all around. We don't need to go into it. We know what it was like. Our job now, that's in the past. Those gains are booked. It's 2021. Let's get to work and recreate that year that we had in 2020. So first off, we're going to look here at the Dow Daily Chart. As you can see, we just continue to march higher. Does not matter what news is out there. COVID continues to surge everywhere. So what? The Senate gave us a piddly little stimulus check for everyone. So what? Just the same old market continues to rocket higher. Quick look at the QQQ, NASDAQ tech stocks. Not much we can say. A lot of things can happen in the first week of the year. Some years we see tax selling in the large caps because there have been just such big gains in the previous year that big traders and big funds hold off until early January to sell because it gives them another year to wait on paying those taxes. So let's see what happens. We've got a lot of hot momentum sectors right now, so we really don't care what the overall market does at this stage. January tends to see a lot of small cap speculative action, and the action that we are seeing in some hot sectors just tells me this is going to continue. Of course, the hot sector this weekend is crypto. Just an insane move in the crypto stocks. We have focused in, or I have focused in on one particular crypto, Litecoin. That has been my favorite since we picked up some more at $47 and again on the breakout at $59.60. We're up 200% over the last 2 months on these additions, and Litecoin finally went boom this weekend. We're looking here when we jumped in on that breakout a couple of months ago. My target was 150 to 60, and we just hit that today. It's 154 right now. Just a phenomenal move as Bitcoin surges over 34K. Even DOG, the altcoin that we have some joke position in, that has gone up 200% this weekend. Just an insane move in these cryptos. And, you know, if it holds true over the weekend, we're probably going to see some crazy action in some of these Bitcoin plays come Monday. Now, before we leave here, this is a multi-year chart on Litecoin, and you can see right here, this is a breakout level, and we could be challenging the 400 plus level. Now, the reason I've liked Litecoin, just like in stocks, I like the smaller floats. This one has a small float compared to a lot of these other altcoins. So that is the reason we've been focusing in on this one. But Bitcoin on fire over the last few days. BTBT. This has just been a phenomenal play. Since November, when we jumped into this stock in the $3 to $4 area, ran up to 9, came all the way back down. We picked some up in the low fives, and over the last 2 weeks, it's gone up, 400%. All out of this stock at the moment. It's deeply overbought. But as we say, overbought can become more overbought. Oversold can become more oversold. But, you know, the move on this one, we should see some movement in some of the other laggers. Now, one of the biggest laggers is MOGO. This is a legit Bitcoin play, but it's not been moving. And we found out why on Friday. It was getting Wainwrighted. MOGO was stupid enough, probably the wrong word, to deal with Wainwright. So every time we saw Bitcoin rallying over the last month, someone was standing on the throat of this stock and stopping it from going. We found out why on Friday. Wainwright was negotiating a deal to do an at-the-market offering. Now that that is out there, we should see them push this stock nicely higher in the near term. Now, if we scroll down here, you can see here we're looking at MACD. Every time we have a deep oversold MACD reading, this stock has spiked big in the following week or so. So we've got this deeply oversold play, legit Bitcoin play, and we've just got mania in all of these other Bitcoiners. This one is still lagging relative to the moves we're seeing on stocks like BTBT and Mara. The other one that we picked up last week as a swing play was Green Pro Capital, GRNQ. This chart really doesn't give us, much help. Sometimes charts don't help when you have an utter mania out there and there's only a few potential plays in that sector. Now, looking at this chart, if I was in this stock and willing to give it some rope, I would probably be using the 185 to 90 area as a stop loss potential. Now, these guys are launching a Bitcoin ETF. So these are another soon to be big player in Bitcoin. Bitcoin holds up this weekend. I could see them challenging the 270 to 3 plus area on a big volume move. Now, our penny play on crypto is naked, working on blockchain for its business. Penny stocks tend to do very, very well in the first month of the year. We've seen a lot of big movement lately. This stock has a very nice flag setup. 25 cents would be the break on this one, and the target still remains this 200-day moving average up here at 39.40 cents. Nice potential upside. Pretty good risk reward on this setup. ARTL. Now, the other sector we're going to talk about right now is cannabis. We've got the Georgia Senate election coming up in a couple of days on Tuesday. So that should set these pot stocks up nicely like they did right before the other election. Now, a lot of the stupidness we're seeing out of Washington, D.C., not giving the $2,000 stimulus check, 11 senators saying they're going to contest Biden's victory, that kind of nonsense has increased the odds of the Democrats actually winning both those seats in Georgia. So that could potentially supercharge these pot stocks into this week. Now, ARTL, aside from being a pot stock and a cancer biotech, this is also a low flow play. This is the lowest float biotech under $1. Our first target on this one is 97 cents. This has a lot of possible good angles going for it going into this first couple of weeks of the year. So this one looks locked and loaded for a very nice move. Of course, we can't talk about pot stocks without SNDL. We've got a very nice setup on this chart here. Where will they start to chase? Now, this is the 1 hour chart, 50-cent break. It tried to bust over it on Friday, but that would be the break level, and we'd be looking for a move to 60 to 75 cents early in the week on that momentum. Now, aside from going back to this ARTL, biotechs tend to do very, very well under Democratic presidencies. Innovation is usually the theme when Democrats are in power. They spend a lot of money pushing alternative things, and biotech tends to do very, very well. When it's a Republican administration, the mega caps do well because we're the corporate states of America right now. Biotechs should be very strong. If we back out the action that we saw in 2020 for COVID biotechs, really the biotech sector was in the doldrums, has been for the last couple of years. So that is another breakout sector we're going to be looking at for this year. Another sector that we know is going to do great are the EVs, alternative energy. Anything to do with green is going to do well. Sugarbox, SGBX. This is a weekly chart on this one. We're looking for $10 plus on the rollout of electric charging. Going to be interesting to see what Tesla does on Monday because they actually came out and blew their numbers out. They didn't hit 500K. They were 450 cars short. Maybe Jack Welch should have contacted Elon and told him how he could have made that 500K number. But EV stocks should do very well. We've got a couple that I really, really like. This is the weekly chart for TRCH. They are merging with a solar stock. This is a $1 stock in my opinion. It's just a matter of when it gets to $1. We said the same thing on OEG, SUNW, ENG, and those stocks are just exploding to the $2, $3, $4, $5 range. Torch is the last one down here under $1. When, not if, I think this is trading over 1. We're looking here at the 1 hour chart. 1 hour chart shows a 76-cent break. So that's what we're going to be looking at for trade entries. And we've got really, really strong support in this mid 60, 65 to 70 looks like really strong support. OEG, this one gave us a huge move last week into year end. We booked some nice gains on this one. It did start to bounce late on Friday. So this would be what I consider a free position ride. Unless it does a steep dip down to the 170, 180 area, I'd probably look at possibly getting back in. Now this one is really oversold on the 1-hour chart, so it should continue to bounce here Monday. Biotech stocks. Jagex has a lot of things going for it. On Friday, we jumped into this one in the 60s and it hit a buck. Not bad for a couple of hour trade on this one. They are spinning off one of their divisions into a SPAC. Nice setup here on the chart. Where would I look to buy on this one? I would buy any steep dip down towards the 70-cent area and possibly a 90-cent or $1 break, depending on how it did it. I would be looking at the way and the volume coming into this stock, determining if I wanted to add more to this position. This is just the daily chart here, and you can see it is setting up nicely. INUV. We're looking at the weekly chart here. What do we need for this one? Everyone will love this stock on a break of 70. That's our first target here, 70 cents. This is my top penny play into 2021. AI advertising, especially when the economy starts to open up, advertising stocks should do gangbusters, and this is a nice setup that we've been very, very patient on. ASRT. Reason I'm bringing this one up, pennies have been very, very active. These guys got a listing extension for 6 months. Friday was absolutely typical tax loss selling. It got whooped over the head on Friday by big volume. Someone big waited till the last day of the year to unload their position. These are the kinds of stocks that tend to do well in January. So this is why I said this could be a potential January popper play. First target, 50-day moving average 46, potential up to the 200-day. So let's see. We're probably going to be playing this one over the next couple of weeks. SNCA, this is the merger play where they did the paperwork last week and said the value for the merger is $2.09. I've played a lot of these biotech shell merger plays, and the ones that assign a value end up being ATM machines over and over and over into those actual merger occurrences. So this is a buy the dip, sell the rip kind of play. Make that swing position a free position. Last stock I'm going to talk about today is ACST, little penny play. I mean, if Gishi, probably the biggest turd of them all, well, actually Jagex was the biggest turd of them all, can run massively, ACST, which is overdue for news on their failed drug trial and is a biotech shell. Breakout, 35 cents. It's looking set up very, very nicely here, but at 35, 36 cent area, and we could be looking at the 50s. So that's it for the update, guys. Thank you for being part of the room. It was a fantastic 2020, but now all eyes on the new year, and let's start tomorrow off with a bang. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and see you all in the chat room tomorrow. Bye.